Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my overcoming battling anorexia video, and this is specifically how I recovered and my tips for recovery and what to expect. Okay, definitely number 1 is the most classic, everyone says it, it's kind of the first step for everything. It's accepting you have a problem. It's so cliched, but it is the most true thing, because you know, until you accept that there is an issue, you're not going to do anything about it. You're not going to face it. And normally I'd say there are things, I personally think that with anorexia you kind of get scared into accepting it. So for me, I remember the first time, before I kind of relapsed, the first time that I accepted it through absolute fear was when I was told that I was basically gonna have a heart attack. When they said your heart rate is 20 and I was bedbound for 3 weeks, I was not allowed to move off my bed because there was the fear that my heart was just gonna stop when I was in intensive care, and that was terrifying. She said if a day later, if you had played that hockey match today, you would be dead, which is very, very scary. So obviously I kind of accepted, shit, there is kind of maybe something wrong. No, shit, Sherlock. So yeah, that was definitely the first time, and then the second time was just, I guess not so much fear actually, it was more just I seriously realized how much of life I was missing out on and how much I was affecting other people. And yeah, it was more, I realized there was so much more to life past anorexia and past being thin and being the skinniest and all that. Yeah, that was definitely my 2 steps. So I would say, I mean, you can't really find your way of accepting it, but when you do accept, so if maybe you're someone watching this because you know someone who's struggling, you can't help them until they accept it. You can project help onto them, but it will do nothing because they haven't accepted there's something wrong. I had so much help projected onto me, you know, like, but it was pointless because until I'd accepted it, it didn't do anything, because I was just like, there's nothing wrong with me. I was in denial. So step 1 is definitely acceptance. There's a problem. That was just the first step. The next ones might not be in chronological order, but I would definitely say get rid of anyone or anything that you know is not benefiting you. For example, there were people at my school who, they were either, this is very harsh, but if they were going through the same thing, I knew that I couldn't, at least for a period of time, I couldn't be with them, I couldn't be associated with them, because the thing with anorexia is it is so competitive. It is this hunger to just be the skinniest, be the thinnest, eat the least. So I was like, if there's somebody else struggling with this, it will literally be battle of the who can be the skinniest. And yeah, I was just like, I know I have to put me first. And then it's not even just that, it was things like, you know, if there were people who I had petty drama with, I was like, I can't do that right now. I was like, I have bigger issues and petty drama is not one that I can cope with right now. So I cut off anybody who was just being petty or just causing little like snippy like not even comments, but like, you know, like classic high school drama. I was like, yeah, I don't have time for that. So those people got cut off from me, even just for a period of time, till you have to put yourself first. You have to know what's not good for you. And also on social media, like unfollowing anyone that is toxic for you, and it might not even be purposefully toxic from them. So like for me, people who were naturally really skinny, I unfollowed them. There were so many people that I followed who were, it was so natural, like that's just their body frame. And you know what, some people will say lucky for them, but that is, you know, you never know, they might be really wanting to gain weight and they can't gain weight. There are people like that, and for people like me that sounds ridiculous, because I'm like, what? But everyone has their own body frame, body shape, natural healthy weight, and for me, the people who were naturally very skinny, thin, thigh gaps, whatever, I unfollowed them because I knew that I was just going to compare myself to them. I knew that every time I saw them, I'd be like, I don't look like that, but bitch, I'm not meant to look like that, okay? So yeah, unfollow anyone on social media that's not good for you, who you're comparing yourself with, who, I mean, God, if you have anybody actually commenting shit about you, delete them, block them. Yeah, definitely get rid of anyone who is not beneficial to you, who's causing you stress, blah, 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 blah. Even as harsh as this sounds, anyone who's highly dependent on you, because you need to be putting all your energy into you, not other people, okay? You are allowed to be selfish for this one thing of recovery, okay? Because it's hella important for your life. The next thing I'd say is find your support network. Find who it is who you trust with your life, that you know they're not gonna abandon you, and who obviously know that you're struggling, who know what you're going through, because recovery is awful, it's terrifying, but it's also the most amazing thing you will do, because it will get you your life back. So for me, obviously, as I said in my last video, my boyfriend Tristan, without him, 1000% I would be ill. I would not be recovered, I would be struggling, and my life would just be crap, basically. Some people be like, oh my god, you simply whatever, but it's the truth. Like, when you find your person that makes you smile when you know you've had the crappiest day in the world, or you know, if I sit there and I'm crying because I'm like, oh, I just hate how I feel, how I look, he somehow can put a smile on my face, you know. And he finds someone who reminds you every day that you're beautiful. It doesn't even have to be a boy or a girl. If you're a boy struggling, it doesn't have to be a girlfriend, whatever. It can be a friend, you know. Like my best friend Kimmy that I'm on holiday with, she tells me like, oh girl, you look hot. You just need that energy in your life. You need those people that tell you, you know, you're beautiful, that you know, like, yeah, okay, you might not feel it, but you look hot. Yeah, those people that also don't dismiss your feelings, who don't tell you don't be stupid, you know. Like I can say to Tristan like, oh, I'm not, I feel fat. Fat is not a thing to feel, but you know, that's what we say. We see I feel fat, you know, and anyone can feel fat. It doesn't mean they are fat, you know. They can, maybe they just ate a little bit extra dessert last night and you wake up, you're like, nah, I feel fat, you know. And he doesn't dismiss it. He doesn't say don't be stupid. He'll be like, that's okay, you're not fat. He'll reassure me. He'll reassure me that I'm beautiful, but he won't be dismissive, because then it makes me feel belittled, you know. You need those people that support you but uplift you at the same time, but also will know that, you know, there are times that if I'm really just for some reason like having a bad day, and I am really like, there are still days where I'm consumed in how I look. Doesn't mean I'm doing anything about it eating wise, but like I am, it is in my head, it's playing in my head, and it can get projected onto him or onto my friends, you know. It might just be little things and I'm being like nippy, or like there'll be something like, oh my god, and he knows, like he knows me so well that he can tell. He's like, he knows there's something wrong, you know. He's like, right, he will say, tell me what's wrong. He's like, what is making you uncomfortable? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Like, he knows instantly. And having those people that know you so well that they can pick up things like that, but also they can deal with you if you are a little bit nippy, or you are being a little bit snappy, because you're not, it's nothing they've done, you're not being snappy at them, it's just your anxiety in your head, your stress in your head, you're being consumed by these thoughts, and it's getting projected onto them. They're aware of this, they know this, they're not going to instantly push you away because you said one nippy little thing. You need those kind of people in your life. How to actually start recovery, I think this is quite interesting. I have two opinions on this. So obviously at the beginning, if you go see a doctor and you go to CAMS or you go to whatever, depending on your country, I'm not sure what it's like. I know I've got quite a lot of American followers, I'm not sure what it's like in America, but in the UK you go to CAMS, Child and Mental Health Services, and you will see a counsellor, and you know, they'll start from there, and a lot of the time you'll get put on a meal plan, you know, 3 meals, 3 snacks, about 3,500 calories a day minimum. That is the classic thing. Now, at the beginning, I do think this is very good because it gives you a structure. It gives you a structure to follow when, you know, you this is the thing, you forget, you don't know how to eat normally anymore. It's still something I struggle with. I still struggle on how to eat normally. That sounds a bit ridiculous, but like, I've forgotten, like, not eating normally, it's been my norm for like 3.5 years. So eating normally is still, you know, something you have to become. It is definitely a long process and coming in tune with your body and its hunger and all that jazz. But yeah, at the beginning, a meal plan is definitely a good thing. And it's also good for, like, say your parents, because they are clueless. They have no idea what is going on. Let me tell you, they don't. They're literally like, what do we do? How do we do this? Like, how do we act around them? And a meal plan is there, it's set in stone. Do this, 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 they will gain weight. You know, it is there to make them gain weight. My issue with meal plans is, as someone who, you know, they've controlled their food, they have controlled their timings, their meal times, whatever. A meal plan is then something you become addicted, not addicted is the wrong word, but like, you are then so fixated on the meal plan. It's like, no, I can't have that grape because it's not my meal plan. That is literally how a lot of brains will work. I can't have that piece of melon because it's not on my meal plan, you know. And that is where meal plans become a bit iffy, because you need to be able to learn how to eat after a meal plan. And if you stick to a meal plan for so long, the second you come off it, you'll probably go back to restricting because you don't know how to do it. That's what I did. And so then there's this thing that a lot of it, and it was actually going around, I remember seeing it, it was on social media a lot, called all-in recovery. I would very much say that's kind of what I did in that latter part when I came back from America. I was just like, you know what, eat whatever you want, however much you want, whenever you want, no rules, no restrictions, literally eat everything and anything. And I would highly recommend go and watch Stephanie Buttermore's videos on All In. I mean, she never said she had anorexia or anything, but she obviously was an athlete and she very much restricted what she was eating, and she had this insatiable hunger. And so she went in on like a year-long all-in journey where she ate everything and anything, complete full permission to eat what she wanted to fix her hunger. I'd go watch her. She was extremely inspirational to me and making it seem that it's okay. You know what? Fix your body. Fix it. You have full freedom to do anything. All in recovery is definitely something that I would personally recommend. Obviously not a doctor, I'm not any of that stuff. I'm just saying from my personal experience, a meal plan is very good at the beginning on getting you going, but I feel personally you have to get off that meal plan as quick as possible and go on to eat anything and everything. But when I say eat anything and everything, that means a lot of food. Like for me, I genuinely 10 to 12,000 calories without a doubt minimum every single day for about 3-4 months. That's a lot of food. Like, I'm struggling now obviously with the 10,000 calorie challenge. If I did it back in the day, it would have been done in a heartbeat, because your hunger is literally just that insatiable. It is crazy. If you haven't experienced it, there is no words to describe it, and there's no way you can ever understand it, but it's the truth. But the thing with all in recovery is you're not only gaining physical weight, because you should be eating a lot more than 3,000 calories, it's fixing that mental hunger. Because that's the thing, on a meal plan, when I was at CAMS, I was put on this meal plan, 3,500 calories. I had no control. I wasn't allowed to choose what I was eating. It was my mum. My mum was the food police. I called her the food police. I had no control. I had no say. So then say that I was thinking I was craving a chocolate bar, but for my dessert I got given rice pudding. I'm still going to be thinking and craving a chocolate bar, but I won't have it because it's not my meal plan. See what I mean? So a lot of this is, you know, with a meal plan, this physical weight will be forced on you, but you still have that mental hunger there, or you still have those like mental kind of negative feelings, and they're not fixed because you've been on this meal plan. Whereas when you go all in recovery, you fix that physical hunger, which that insatiable pit in your stomach, but the mental satiety is also fixed. Because that's another thing, you can be physically full but craving chocolate, and you know, that's the thing with all in recovery. If it's physical craving, a mental craving, you eat it, you honor it. Because that is literally the only way that you can fix your brain. Without a doubt. It is the only way. Yeah. I'm obviously not going to say like go against cams, but there's many negative things come out about cams. I actually did an Instagram post on it. I remember when it was Dora, I can't remember her exact name, but on social media she's like Dora is Exploring. She like wrote to oh my goodness, who did she write to? The really famous guy of Love Island, the doctor, Alex George, about this. And I said my piece on it, and I said that was probably the first time I spoke out about my anorexia, and I just said how cams actually they did make me worse rather than better. And just, I know, and it's not actually their fault, they need more funding, all that jazz, but how many times can I say all that jazz? Yeah, I personally, if you're thinking about all in recovery, do it, because honestly it's the quickest way you will recover. It'll give you that freedom, that going out freedom. The thing is with all in recovery, do not track it, do not count calories, do not do anything, obviously, like we're trying to get away from that. Don't do that. The next thing I would say with recovery is we have the classic, I'm gonna gain weight but I just want to gain muscle, I don't want to gain fat. I had that phase, and I know other people who are struggling who also said that to me. That's not, no, muscle is not our concern right now. You literally just have to focus on gaining weight. Except that you're gonna gain fat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna be like, yeah girl, you're gonna gain all this muscle. No, you're going to gain fat, but your body needs fat. And you know, you're probably gonna get a lot around your middle, because that's where your internal organs are, and that is where your body will put it first. But that weight will redistribute across your arms, your legs, but it will predominantly go to your middle first, and that's terrifying. But your body just doesn't trust you right now. You have to give your body time to trust you again, and it does take a little bit of time. Exercising in recovery is another one. You know, I kind of have, like, my experience with exercise is obviously different, because I mean I was kind of, when I was starting to properly fully recover, I was at school, so I was doing games. But I mean, like, way back at the very beginning, I was doing no exercise. When I was in hospital, obviously I was doing no exercise. Like, it was dangerous for me to do exercise, and I would say doing exercise is actually pointless, because I mean it's just, you're actually gonna have to eat more to get better, and eating more is the hard bit. Like, you have to eat so much food. Exercising is just pointless. But I would say, you know, if you're someone that benefits from like a walk for your mental health, for your like clearing your brain, then totally do it. Like, I would go on dog walks because they were so enjoyable. But if you find yourself, or like, you know, maybe a little bit of yoga, if that is what mentally frees your brain. But don't be thinking, right, I'm gonna go on the spin bike for like 45 minutes. No. I always feel like I can be a little bit harsh, because you know I've been through it, but no, just stop, don't. Only do exercise if it's beneficial for your brain, and obviously refuel AF when you get back. Also, I'd say, you know, if you're watching this, you aren't recovered, and you're maybe thinking about it, or you're going through recovery and you're maybe thinking, oh my god, I'm going through these things and I just don't know what's happening. Let me tell you what I experienced during recovery, because recovery is quite something. Okay, number one, as I said, extreme hunger, insatiable hunger, absolutely bloody terrifying. Listen to it. You know, don't listen to that voice in the back of your head. Just listen to that hunger. Number two, you will potentially get night sweats. They are disgusting. Every single night without fail, I would wake up drenched in sweat, like somebody had poured a bucket of water on me. That is basically just your body starting to work again. Because you're getting, obviously food is energy, you're getting all this extra energy into your body. Your body literally just overheats, basically. There's obviously science behind that. I ain't no scientist. You're gonna get really hot, you're gonna get really sweaty, be prepared for that. I don't really think there's anything you can do, just be prepared with a fresh set of pajamas. Or just go to bed with no pajamas. I'm pretty sure that's what I started doing, because I was like, there's literally no point in me wearing pajamas anymore. The night sweats is disgusting, it's horrible. Are there any other recovery? Oh, bloating, obviously you will bloat like a balloon. If I have a photo, if I still have the photo, I will insert it here, of my stomach. I remember I recommend naming your baby, your bloat baby. Mine was Bernard the bloat baby. Rock solid, literally rock solid. Oh my goodness. Yeah, except you're gonna bloat, I'd highly recommend hot water bottles. They were my best friend. I had one every single day. They're also really good because obviously when you have anorexia, you will be freezing probably, so we love a hot water bottle. With bloating, also helps putting your legs up against the wall. Sounds strange, but you know, literally lying back, wall, legs. I don't know why it works, but it works. Yeah, I did that quite a lot. In recovery as well, I got a lot of brain fog. I remember this general, but I mean, I had that with anorexia as well, like when I was really ill and restrictive. There's literally parts of my life, the past 4 years, that I just don't remember. Ask me something from like 7 years ago, yeah, I remember them clearly. It's a very strange thing. I literally have amnesia from those times. Difficulty sleeping. I knew I wrote down another one. Yes, my sleep was very disturbed, but once again, that was another thing with anorexia, and I had it when I was restricting, was disturbed sleep, which, you know, just adds to like the grouchiness as well. But these are just little things to be prepared for. And you know, I mean, I'm really hoping for you that if you're about to go through recovery, if you're going through it, that nobody does comment on what you're eating, but there's highly likely you will be eating more than other people. I was easily eating most of my house. You know, I was eating more than my brother, okay, who's like a lot bigger than me because he's older than me and, you know, stronger than me, whatever. But I was eating more because I needed it. I was freaking starving. So yeah, just be prepared for that. I remember I kept a journal because speaking to people about my feelings is the most terrifying thing in the world. She says as she sits on camera and tells the world. But yeah, I kept a journal and I wrote, you know, you can write anything. It's your journal. As stupid as you may think it is, you can write anything. You can write, I hate this person, I hate that person because they did this, or I hate this person because they were complaining about this stupid thing when I'm going through this. You know, you can be as ruthless as you like in a journal. Do it. Do it. Because I hope nobody finds my journals because I was ruthless. I watched YouTubes that helped me. Alzani Singleton, I watched hers. Steph Marie Frank, I watched her. I listened to Jamila Jamil's podcast. Did I say that right? I'm sure I did. I Weigh. Particularly loved her podcast with Demi Lovato, I Weigh with Demi Lovato. Because so many people don't quite realize, so many people have gone through eating disorders. Demi Lovato, Jade Thirlwall from Little Mix, Taylor Swift. This literally goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So many people go through this. The Olsen twins, like so many people. So if you're struggling, you are not alone. If you know someone who's struggling, you know, it is the hardest thing. I'm sure it's the hardest thing to see someone go through as well. It'd be the most infuriating thing to see someone go through. But just be there for them. There is light. Even when I remember sitting and thinking, this is my life. This is me for the rest of my life. It's never going to get better. But it does. It can get better. A lot of it does stem from you though, and what you surround yourself with, what you absorb, what you hear, what you read, what you look at, you know. It's not just, so many parts go into recovery, but it's possible that you can do it. If you have any questions, once again, please ask them down below. I'd love to make more videos on this. You know, if it's questions about you and your recovery, or things you're scared about in recovery, or things you're scared about, you know, if you're struggling with body image, or if there's someone you know struggling, please comment it down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was a bit of a rambly video, but you know, it's just, we're just talking everything out.